Well, good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Fantastic. There you are. Here I am. Here we are today. Wow. Not a bad crowd. A lot of RSVPs. Ed Neary, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, there's Cynthia. Cynthia Walters on. All kinds of people on here. Colin, yeah, you smiling. All right. Orlando Perez. You got to be kidding me. Orlando Perez is on here. Fantastic. Orlando, do you still have that phone number that ends in 2333?
I do.
You do? Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yep.
I always
all
wanted that
right here.
because it spells beef. Love that. Okay, anyway, how are we today? Fantastic. What a great subject. If you haven't been on this talk before, we just launched this particular part of this talk last week. And boy, a lot of people want to know about it because what's going on, folks, is our industry is under siege, and I'm going to show you that today. We actually have a guest on today that is going to be talking about exactly what happened to her under Zillow when she actually had an active listing and Zillow started contacting it. So this is what we're talking about. And I know that the subject matter of this talk was, talk about your NAR thing. And the reason we're talking about this is because what NAR and CAR are not doing for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And those who are coming in late can come in late. My name is Beef Wellington. Yes, Beef Wellington. 2 words, Beef Wellington, like the food, okay? I am from The Career Compass. So for those of you who know me, hello, how are you? Those who don't know me, hello, how are you? All right? If you do not know who The Career Compass is, then you're probably an insurance agent and you're on the wrong webinar. But if you do not, I'll introduce who we are. We are the #1 training organization, #1 training company for real estate agents in the state of California. #1. More people come to our seminar. More people are in our C4 program. More people than almost anybody out there. So with that being said, here's what we're going to be doing today, and then I'll kind of tell you who we are in a nutshell. Right? We're going to show you exactly what Zillow is doing to your business. Many of you, and don't you click off, because many of you don't know what's happening to your active current listings and buyers right now. Next, we're going to show you in writing exactly. This isn't hearsay. This isn't rumor. Okay, it's not being fact checked by the opinion people, which is basically all that is these days. Okay, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how many fact checked that was so sure that it was last year have come out and like, oh, sorry, we're taking that one back because that was just our opinion. I'm telling you, I'm so sick of the media right now. Bunch of weirdos. All right, we're going to show you exactly how NAR and your local affiliate, okay, the example CAR, have been completely complicit in what's happening when Zillow is taking your business from you, taking your business both on the buy side and on the list side. We're actually going to show you some tools you can use today to counter this. And we're going to show you what hundreds of agents have done already just this year to guarantee that they're going to survive in this business. Because let me tell you this right now. I'm going to come right out and tell you this. If you press NAR about exactly what's going on, they will tell you that 1/3 of you, 1/3 of the agents in this business will be out within 3 to 5 years. Out. And not because they want to. No. Because they have to, because they've been forced out by the iBuyers and other companies. And within 5 to 7 years, ready for this? Up to half or 2/3 of the realtors in the business right now are not going to be here anymore. Do not let that be you. This is the greatest time in the world to be a realtor if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it's the worst time. Okay? It's the worst time you could ever be. So what I'm saying is you've got to know what's going on. And you're probably thinking, well, Wellington, I have great value. I work really hard for my commission. I know you do. And Zillow's got your number. So if you're going to do this business exactly like you've been doing it for the last 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years, you're already gone. You're already gone. If you're going to do this business incorporating things like the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter, the 7% technique, right now, you and me, you, me, okay? Ready? If you do not know the 7% technique, you're part of the past. Yep. And I'll talk about it a little bit today. Most of you have talked about it. Look at Ed. He's like, yep. Those who have used the 7% technique and now the 7% extreme technique are killing it. And I'll show you exactly why. Now, check this out. So for those of you who don't know who the Career Compass is, okay, #1 best value in real estate training by far. We give you what no other company does at prices that are literally like how they even do this. I mean, it's like next to nothing. It's amazing, okay? Most entertaining live seminar, yes. Love it. Best way to renew your license. Are you kidding? There's nothing else like that. If you are doing the car course or any other license renewal, okay, other than our third-party affiliate company, stop right this minute. Stop. Okay, we'll show you about that later. Highest customer satisfaction rate of any California seminar ever. Wow. And number 1 rated value in coaching and mentoring, 27,000 members and growing. And thank you very much for all being there. Now, most of the comments we get from our C4, our new C4 program, which, by the way, every single realtor should be in that, okay? If this is the future. This is the future of this business. And that's what that's what everyone who's in it is saying. Like, this is the future. Without this, I have no chance. No, this seminar and training is so much more than I thought it was going to be. Managers say, why don't all my agents know this stuff? 97% of the people who are in our C4 program or been to our seminar or both say it's the best training or some of the best training they've ever had. Nobody else even comes close. All right, let's get to this. Now, imagine this. Before we talk about Zillow, I'm going to explain to you what this is. I'm going to take 5 minutes because here's why. We had all kinds of complaints for people like, oh, I just hate going to webinars because at the end, it's this big, long sales pitch for something really expensive. No. None of that with Career Compass. Not only am I going to tell you everything right up front, I'm only going to take 5 minutes. Then I'm going to show you exactly what Zillow is doing to crush your business. So bear with me. So that means there's not going to be any sales pitch at the end, nothing for you. If what I'm talking about now doesn't make sense by the end, forget it. Have a nice day. Shake hands and no hard feeling. Okay, so imagine this. Imagine outside of the realtor community, okay? There's a new community in the state of California and in the country of realtors and real estate agents, okay, who are coming together to bond and basically synergize against what's happening in this business. And boy, it is shocking. For those of you who've had your head turned for the last year because you've been selling with so much property, because you got interest rates of 2.5% to 3%, what's going on will crush this industry as soon as the interest rates change. That's going to happen. So, and imagine all of this happening every month where you get mentored and coached by some of the greatest real estate coaches in the industry. We're talking about the #1 coaches out there, as well as being interfacing and mentoring and coaching and learning from the best realtors in the history of real estate. We're talking about people who are in the top 10, 20, and 30 of all time. Could you imagine learning from those people? I mean, what would happen to your business? Okay, amazing. The ability to have one-on-one sessions with those people. Okay, each year, a complete review of your business, the #1 video training library in the history of real estate, because we got it, okay? You cannot, everybody here knows that you cannot get tools and techniques like the Career Compass stuff from anybody else, okay? Only from us, and that's what we pride ourselves on, okay? The community that we're talking about, actually sending you referrals, not leads, referrals straight to you. That's another thing, ready? Automatically improving your Google search standings, your DRE and your car and our ethics certificates done completely, done the easiest, fastest, I just talked to a lady today, okay? She's like, oh my God, I was gonna do the car course or First Tuesday, no offense to them, or Allied, no offense to them, anything like that. This was gonna take me weeks. And my gosh, I can do this in the shortest time possible because she's on the C4. She goes, that alone is being worth it, all right? And you get to come to all of our big parties. That'd be awesome. You're gonna learn and meet these people, meet in person, ready? With none of the cost of some of the programs you people are in. I just talked to a guy today who's in a coaching program, and nothing against coaching, okay? All training is good training, okay, folks? I mean, Tom Ferry's a great guy. Brian Buffini's a great guy. Mike Ferry's a guy, and there's lots of other guys out there, okay? My point is, I talked to this guy, he's in one of the coaching companies. I'm not gonna mention which one, Mike Ferry, but my point is, he was spending $650 a month, $650 every single month, and that was on the low side. He's also part of our C4 program. Ready for this? He said, just in the 5 months that I've been a part of C4, I have gotten more deals, more transactions, and more great training that I'm gonna be using from C4 in 5 months than in 2 years of coaching at $650 a month. And by the way, our C4 ain't no $650. Wait till you see that. So let me show you an example. See this lady right here? Very nice lady. You want proof positive? Ready? Check this out. These are checks. This is a fan of checks. These are escrow checks. These are checks to her for real estate transactions. Okay? She's a realtor. This is Christy Kanoki. Bill and Christy Kanoki, okay? Husband and wife team. Orange County. There's her license number. Look them up on the MLS if you want to, if you don't believe me here. Let me give you a couple of examples. And this is just since she's been in C4. Watch this. $25,000 right there. $97,350. That's more than most realtors made this year. Okay, 20 grand there, 23 grand there, et cetera, et cetera. If you add them all up, just a fan of checks she's had just since she's been in the C4 program, $211,000. Look her up. There it is. There's her numbers. There, look it up. That's what we're talking about. That's real value. Now, here's what we launched in 5 months ago. This is what we're talking about. Ready? Okay. Again, 5 minutes of your time, and I'll talk to you, and I'll save your career. Ready for this? Most of you have been to our seminar. In fact, some of you, I think Cynthia is right there. Cynthia, that's you right there. Okay. There's Ed Neary right over there. Okay. He's already drunk. Look at him. Look at him. I can tell that. Okay. Orlando's way back there calling somebody. Can't get off his damn phone. Anyway, point being, right? So this year, because of COVID, okay, because of the pandemic, sorry for all you Karens out there. Catherine, I see you. You're Karen. I know. I can tell. Anyway, point being, yeah, hello. All right, where's your mask? Yeah, you might get COVID through the Zoom call. Okay, she was on a call the other day. This lady had her mask on. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what is your problem? She's like, well, I want to be safe. I'm like, you're alone in your house. Okay, back to this. Now watch this. So we're having our live seminars, but they're in Reno and Las Vegas. Just get in the car and go to them. Okay, just do it. You're all members. Okay, so this is what we're doing in 2021. Okay, and yes, it's a great time. All this other kind of great stuff, and all of our regular locations we're going to be having in 2022. All right, but here's the thing. Here's what we realized. We realized that there's two types of training for realtors in the state of California. The Career Compass, which is immense, awesome content, things you can't learn anywhere else, like the 7% technique, the EAT, the PAT, percent extreme technique, the lawyer letter, okay? All these amazing tools and techniques. So it's amazing content that every realtor needs to know, but we've never had a program to work that content into your daily life on a monthly basis. So you're kept accountable. So it's always being worked in, because it's one thing to learn something, but how many times have you learned something great and didn't work it into your business? Like every time. That's the problem, okay? So now all the other training seminars out there basically teach you the same four things, which is mailers, cold calling, door knocking, and bothering your database at Thanksgiving. Did you know I've been in real estate? Do you know the average realtor gets in real estate long enough to piss off their friends and family, and then they get out? Right? You know it. All right. So this is basically what they do. So there's really no more additional content, but they sell you coaching for $650 a month or $1,000. It's insane. Okay? And you get one coach. I'm not saying anything bad about coaching, but guys, if you're in coaching, you get the benefit of one guy. And if he has no experience in real estate, guess what? You get nothing out of it. So we developed C4. Nothing like any program you've ever seen before. Let me explain exactly what this does for you. This is amazing. Career Compass Concierge Connection, C4. And yes, designed to explode your business. Get it? Get it. All right. Now, here's how it works. Most of you know about our award-winning seminar. Most of you have been to that. Now we have C4 to take all this great content and move it into your daily life on a monthly basis, just like a coaching program, but way, way different. So let me show you how it works, okay? Every month you get 2 sessions, just like a regular coaching program, but it's not. It's way, way better. We call it mentoring with masters. So in a regular coaching program, you get one guy who coaches you for years and years and years, and it sucks, okay, in many times. Okay? Did you know that 93% of people in coaching programs said it was too expensive compared to what they got? 93%. That's pretty shocking. But with ours, the first session you get every month is with any of our 6 mentor masters. See that guy right there? He's been in real estate for 42 years. This right here, this is Donna Brady. She is one of the industry standard experts when it comes to web, social media, and Google searches. Amazing. This guy right here will show you how to get judges to actually put you in divorce decrees as the listing agent. Don't have to compete on a listing presentation for that one. Amazing business. This guy right here is Jim Zers. And by the way, for all you C4 members who are on this call as well, tomorrow, as you know, Zers tomorrow will be talking about the senior market. #1 trainer when it comes to the senior market right there in the state of California. He works for us. #1 guy, okay? And by the way, the senior market is a gold mine, ladies and gentlemen. A gold mine. You could double, triple your business, because here's what it is. It's all the baby boomers. People, old guys like me and above, we own everything. Well, I don't. I wish I did. You know, point being, they own everything. And by the way, these people are not buyers. They're listers. That is such a huge gold mine, but you got to know how to get into that business. So these are your mentor masters. Every single month, you get an hour and a half to 3 hours of these people live like this. Like, hey, Wellington, stop and back up of this, and let me ask you this, let me do this. It's awesome stuff. Now, also, your second session every month, this will blow your mind. See that lady right there? That's Marguerite Crispillo. She's done 4,000 transactions in her life. She's one of the only realtors I've ever met in my life that's done more than 100 deals every single year for more than 20 years. Raise your hand if you're in that club. Yeah, nobody on this call. This is one of the people you're going to learn from live. This guy right here is Tom Daves. He is our Learning with Legends guy for June coming up. He's done 7,000 transactions. He's one of the top 10 realtors of all time in the state of California. I just talked to him about 2 weeks ago. He goes, Beef Wellington, I can't wait to be one of your Learning with Legends for all your C4 people. Amazing. So every month you get 2 of those, and they're all recorded in case you miss one. Don't worry. Now, every month you get a one-on-one tune-up with our masters. Amazing. And we also have something called Masters on Demand. When you're in a coaching program, you can't call your coach anytime you want for one-on-one help. You can with C4. How cool is that? We also have the complete video library. This, in my opinion, is one of the most valuable things any realtor can have. So take all the 112, 120, 140 tools and techniques that we have. In fact, we just developed a new one. Let me ask you, okay, this is off topic, but I've got to ask everybody here. Have you ever done this? Ready? Have you ever used an option to purchase to get your offer accepted when you go to buy a house? It's one of the hottest things right now. Using an option, meaning you're purchasing an option. So if you're the seller, I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Seller, I will give you a $10,000 option outside of escrow, okay, to fix your house up while you're getting ready to sell, as long as you write me an option within 6 months to buy the house at the end of the 6 months for a predetermined price that you and I decide on. Now, check this out. So I get first right of refusal based on that purchase option, and it's non-refundable. So now the seller is motivated to take that offer. Oh, it's amazing. Okay? And then you also can have a situation where if the house, see, the listing agent continues to market the house. I know I'm going fast here, guys. I'll explain this to you in C4. It's amazing. The listing agent continues to market the house even though they have the option on it. So as the house continues to go up, the seller can actually sell the option back to the original buyer for more than they paid for it. So the buyer can actually make money on the option. Have you ever even heard of that kind of thing? This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's unbelievable. You've got to learn this stuff. All right, back to this. That didn't impress Michael Caruccio Broker. Okay, okay. Oh, don't worry, buddy. I'll get to you. Don't worry. All right. So anyway, those kind of tools and techniques, you can't get them anywhere except for Career Compass. So you also get a listing booster account. By the way, are your listings on TV? That does it for you. If you wanted to buy one of these accounts from National Real Estate Post, it's $200 a month. With C4, it's free. Awesome. And that also gives you referrals as well. Okay. You get reserved seating at all of our live events. How cool is that? Up front with roped off. You pay hundreds of dollars for that if you had Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry. Okay. Private cocktail receptions at all of our private ones for all C4 members at all of our events. And by the way, who's there? All of your mentor masters and your legends. Could you imagine standing next to Carol Hacker for a cocktail and asking her about business? You couldn't get that no matter how much you paid for it. You get it here. And we actually are going to create a profile on our website of your entire business. Watch this. Here's you. Here's your information. Here's a blurb about your website, about your business on our website. And here's a video of you doing real estate. You know what this does? This changes your search algorithms. You guys know what that is? That's where you come up on a Google search when somebody searches for a realtor. You actually appear higher just because you're on the Career Compass website. How cool is that? Okay. Now, the last thing is your CAR and NAR ethics certificate, as well as your DRE license renewed in the fastest, easiest, painless way you could ever think of. That alone saves you 45 hours or more of impossible freaking studying. It's awful. So check this out. All of these things, all of these benefits in the new community that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents in and growing every single month. Ready for this? This is how much most coaching programs cost you, and they're terrible compared to ours. This is the least expensive program we ever found that's a group coaching like ours. Ready for this? This is C4. Watch this. This will be part of your life for the rest of your life. Watch this. $19. Not $1,900 like it should be, and not $19,000. $19. It is the lowest cost, most productive option thing in the history of real estate. Okay. And by the way, there's no contract. We don't have to lock you into a contract. You'd never cancel this. All these benefits every single month for $19, no contract. There's nothing like it anywhere in the business. All right, there you go. Now you know you're never going to get a sales pitch. Okay, now you're done. Good, there you go. Anybody not in this has lost their mind in real life. I mean, guys, I've been in real estate for 30 years. I've been a real estate trainer, okay, for 18 of those years. I have never seen a program to benefit realtors that's better than this one in my life, and at the lowest price I've ever seen. I've never seen. It's the litmus test. It's the lowest price item in the history of real estate for the greatest amount of productivity. Okay, if this doesn't make sense to you, nothing's going to. All right, enough of that. Here we go. Ready for this? Here's what Zillow is doing to your business. Take a drink here. And no, this isn't vodka soda, as far as you know. Michael, wake up. All right. Ready? I'm going to say something shocking. Your relationships will no longer get you the business. Yep, I said it. I'm going to prove it today. Relationships are no longer the most important thing in real estate. Now, I know that sounds shocking because every single realtor trainer out there is like, oh, you got to have your relationships. Yes, relationships are important, but they no longer guarantee you the business. And I'm going to prove it to you today in real examples. I'm going to show you something about realtor value. Like, well, I bring more value, realtor. Do you really? Do you really bring more value as a realtor? I'm going to ask you a question. Who here? Is there anybody here from San Diego County? Anybody? Let me ask you this. Okay. Oh, Michael. Fantastic, Michael. Have you watched the CBBs lately? Hey, Michael, what's CBB? Cooperating Broker Buyer. That's the buyer's agent commission. Watch this. Up to 40% of all the listings in San Diego, a major metropolitan area, have a CBB of that. Look at Michael's face. Look at him. Look at his face. He's like, yep, that's the buyer's commission. Where's our value? Boy, it doesn't really seem like we're very valuable right now. And by the way, Michael, let me ask you a question. Many listings on the MLS are cut in half, aren't they? You take the total commission and cut them in half, right? About 90%. So that means many of these listings have a total commission of how much? 3%. So much for realtor value. This is a terrible trend, a terrible trend. Now, let me contrast that with hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of agents who know the 7% technique authored by the Career Compass and now the 7% extreme technique. Every single day, calls come into our office of agents who are competing against other agents for listings, the most valuable thing you could have right now. And they are competing against agents who are cutting their commission to 5, 4, and sometimes 3%. Yet the agent using the 7% technique is getting the listing. How are they doing that? If you don't know how to do this, then that's going to be done to you. You're going to be one of two things in the future. Either you will be an agent using the 7% technique to beat other agents, regardless of how much they're cutting their commission, or you're going to be the agent getting beat by somebody using the 7% technique. We have 27,000 members, guys. You must learn this stuff, and we will teach it to you coming and going. But that is shocking. That is shocking right there. Zillow, Open Door, Redfin are normalizing iBuying. I'll get to that in a minute. And oh, by the way, here's the new quote. Ready for this? You want to talk about realtor value? You can use a realtor, but that's the old way of selling or buying a house. Now you can do it all online. That's our business dissolving right there. Okay. Zillow is now a brokerage, has an IDX, has MLS, has agents, has is a member car NAR. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. And has just bought showing time. All right. And you have an association that's doing nothing for you. I'll prove it. Okay. I'll prove it to you in 3 minutes. All right. Is this the beginning of the end? Okay. You know, I'm gonna skip this real quick here because I want to come back to it later. But I'm going to go ahead and switch. I have an example of this lady who calls the office who's like, oh, I can't be bothered to learn anything new. I have enough people who are referring me, and I'm just, you know, I'm so lofty. I'm so lofty. It's like a crap marble. Okay, ready for this? Okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, see, at Career Compass, you get the real words. Okay, we don't sugarcoat things. We don't care about offending people. I just saw a quote today. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right, and you're not. Okay, because you all know when you come to our seminar, it's time to offend you because that's when you're moving out of your comfort zone. Oh, don't want to be offended. Too bad. Here you got beef Wellington coming at you. All right. So anyway, I don't want to talk about her. Okay. But let me ask you a question. Will you be a millionaire in 5 years? Because see this guy right here, Tony and Tasha Peruvianis, implemented the 7% technique, and they're on their 18th listing in 18 months. 18 listings, 18 months at 7%. This guy right here, Ralph Muncaster, has done 30 listings in Carlsbad. 30 listings. In fact, you know, Tony's on the thing. Hey, Tony, unmute yourself. Are you at your 14th listing or 18th listing at 7%?
Right now, 18th, but we have another 3 that are coming in August. So, okay. And it's all 7%. As a matter of fact, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yes.
I was at a wedding in Reading this past weekend, and we spoke to somebody who listed their house in Oakland. Total commission 3.5%, 1.5% to the buyer's agent, which I found shocking. Yep. And when I said 7%, she went totally insane. She says, "Unbelievable! No way could you do that."
Really?
Yeah.
Not only can we do that, we are doing it, aren't we?
Exactly.
Exactly. Guys, I know this sounds crazy because see, the person that Tony just talked to, that agent says, "Oh, no way you could ever do that." has no idea how soon she'll be out of this business. She has no idea, because Tony and Tasha are competing against agents just like that, who are cutting their commission to 4 and 3.5 and whatever else it is, and they're beating them, coming and going. Isn't that right, Tony?
Correct.
Okay.
100%
Guys,
correct.
see, here's what that agent doesn't understand. That agent seems to think that a higher commission means more money out of the seller's pocket, which is not true. That is a lie from the pit of Hades, folks. And we have thousands of agents proving. I'll get Scott Cooper, for example. Scott Cooper is an owner of 3 Keller Williams. I just talked to him about 5 days ago. He goes, Wellington, I'm on my 4th 7% listing this month. Because what happens is when you do this and you put a ton of money and you show the seller how you can put a ton of money in their pocket, way over already the high bidding prices we have these days, even more than that, they go, this is like magic. This is the kind of thing we should be doing. That agent that Tony talked to at that party is going to be out of this business very, very soon. Or she'll come to the Career Compass and learn this. Because I got news for you. I can go into any listing presentation, and so can Tony. Okay, and I will compete against any listing agent anywhere in California or this country. And they can cut their commission to anything they want, and I will beat them with the 7% technique every single time. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you that this works, guys. Lowering commissions does not put more money in the seller's pocket. Never has. But you must learn how to do this. And Tony's an example. He's got 18, and he's got 3 more coming. You really think that those sellers were not approached by agents cutting their commission to 5, 4, or 3?
Absolutely.
Of course they were. But yet they went with Tony and Tasha. Why'd they do that? You need to find out. And you need to learn that 7% technique. So anyway, back to Ralph Muncaster. He's done 30 listings in Carlsbad at over $2 million using the 7% technique. And all those agents out there, especially at that price point, are cutting their commission to next to nothing, yet they go with Ralph. Ralph came to our seminar in December of 2019 and stood up on stage, Stood up on stage and showed a flyer of his most recent $2.35 million listing at 8% commission. Add that up. It was a 5% buy side. That's $135,000. He had people coming from Orange County, from Santee, from La Jolla. You must learn how to do this technique, folks. You will put yourself head and shoulders. And by the way, that's one technique out of 112 we have for you in C4. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. Now, yeah, we got that. All right. Ready for this? Here is the future of your life. Showing time, Zillow, National Association of Realtors. You'd think that this was opposed to this. Hasn't turned out that way, has it? Ready for this? Now, Sandra Fisher, are you on?
Yep.
All right. We have a special guest that's going to blow your mind.
I'm right here. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
all right. Hold on. Stay right there. Ready? Now watch this. Okay? Now, religion is no safe harbor. NAR rules in controversial hate speech policy. Now, we're going to start with NAR. I'm going to explain exactly why the National Association of Realtors is not representing you anymore, as if you didn't already know that. Now I'm going to show you it in proof. Ready? Now, let me ask you a quick question. Zillow is now part of the National Association of Realtors and CAR and all the other boards. So that means that they are the most powerful voting entity there is in the history of NAR, which means that they are in Chicago voting on things that's going to affect the industry. Do you really think they're going to vote in their benefit or yours? Watch this. Now, this is an Inman article from 2 weeks ago. In fact, less than 2 weeks ago, about 10 days ago. Inman article about a pastor. So here's what happened. A pastor who also is a realtor expressed his personal opinion about biblical scripture. Now, I don't want to talk about religion here. I'm not a big Bible beater. Okay, I'm a religious guy, but I'm not a Bible beater. I'm not citing on religion. You could talk about, this could be anything. Okay, it just happened to be that he was quoting his opinion about the Bible. Okay, now this is protected under the First Amendment in the U.S. Constitution. Do you value your First Amendment rights? Do you? Because NAR has just decided that you have the First Amendment unless they decide different. Don't think I'm right? Watch this. Now, a realtor's, this is from the actual committee hearing. A realtor's publicly. So anything you say in public doesn't have to be to another realtor. It could be anybody, anywhere. It could be at that party that Tony was at. Anywhere anybody can hear you. Ready? A realtor's publicly stated interpretations. So in other words, their opinions, interpretations of religious scripture can violate the Realtor Code of Ethics. according to a case interpretations approved by the Committee of the National Association of Realtors. Now, let me translate this for you. By the way, religious scripture, that doesn't have to be religious. It could be about politics. It could be about social. It could be about parenting. It could be about anything. Religious scripture is just, that's just incidental. So in other words, let me translate this. A realtor's publicly stated interpretations. So in other words, a realtor's publicly stated opinions about anything can violate the Realtor Code of Ethics according to the interpretations approved by the Committee of the National Association of Realtors. So in other words, anything that you say that anybody can hear can be held against you if it offends them. Now, the policy states this exactly. This is a cut and paste. This affects every single person on this call directly. Because if you ever open your mouth and say anything, it is now subject to the violation of the Code of Ethics if the hearing decides so. Now, you're probably thinking, gee whiz, Wellington. Well, it's under the First Amendment that this person can talk about religion all they want. So you'd think that that person, this pastor, won this case when he was hauled into a hearing about whether he violated the Code of Ethics. Keep that in mind. Policy 10.5 of the National Association of Realtors Code of Conduct. Policy Standard Practice 10.5 reads, realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, which means family status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Now, on its face, that looks like a normal, acceptable thing because we don't want to bash on people. We don't want to make fun of people. I mean, if you want to get made fun of and be offended, then come to the Career Compass and I'll do it for you. Okay, but my point is, watch this. I'm so offended by Pete Wellington. My job is to offend everybody. All right, back to this. But here's the thing. Watch this. Realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs. According to whose standard? Did you notice there's no standard here? No one is defining what hate speech is. If I say to Ed Neary, hey, Ed, have a nice day, and let's say that he likes night better. Well, what do you mean? I'm not supposed to have a nice night, and I can sue you now? I mean, exactly what is hate speech? What is the standard? This opens it up to anybody's opinion of what hate speech is. So anything that you say can be hate speech, no matter what, if it offends somebody else. So here's what this means in a nutshell. Your entire career, the business that you have built under the NAR and CAR logo and the DRE, I'll get to that in a second, your entire career is now in the hands of anyone who may get their feelings hurt by what you say. And it can be any subject about anything. Here's the most hideous part of this. Now I'm going to take this to the next level. This is going to shock everybody, even Orlando. Watch this. It doesn't matter what you say. It only matters how the other person heard it. So if I say, hey, Ed Neary, have a nice day, and he mistakes that for, I want to go throw you in the bay, he can go, oh, that offended me. I can sue Wellington now. And there'll be a hearing. And it's up to the person being accused to prove they didn't say it. Because I got news for you. That pastor that was quoting biblical scripture lost. He lost the hearing. According to 10.5, he did violate the Code of Ethics. His First Amendment rights to worship the way he wants to was basically trumped by the Code of Ethics of the National Association of Realtors. He lost the case and was found in violation. So now NAR can rescind his CAR and NAR membership, which means he now no longer has access to zip forms. And by the way, even though we had Connie Lynch on the other day from SR CAR, who said that the DRE and CAR and NAR have nothing to do with each other, which is true. But however, guess what? CAR and NAR are such a powerful lobby group that they can lobby and petition the DRE, which does anything they want. We all know that. Do anything they want. Okay, they'll pretty much, just does whatever CAR and NAR wants to rescind the license for violating the Code of Conduct of the DRE. So your entire career is in the hands and the mercy of anybody who hears anything you say, and not just what you say, but what they think you said. You are now responsible for not only what you say being a violation of some undefined standard of conduct, but more importantly, you are responsible for how anybody might have heard it and interpreted it. That's pretty amazing. All of this, while Zillow, so in other words, here's what NAR and CAR are doing, spending all their time seeing if you have violated the code of ethics, all the time while Zillow knowingly, blatantly, and openly have violated the code of ethics, specifically Article 16, by marketing to your listings and your buyers openly. And NAR and CAR does nothing about it. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Watch this. So what NAR is doing right now is spending your financial resources that you spend, basically financial resources you send them to find you guilty of hate speech while ignoring the violations of Zillow. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you, because Sandra Fisher is on board, right? Watch this. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. So I guess that makes me pretty much the most honest guy in the world, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. All right. Seattle realtor puts her own property in the MLS. Seattle realtor, okay? There's a Seattle realtor puts her own property in the MLS, meaning the house that she lives in, the house that she owns, okay? She's the owner and she's the listing agent. Zillow doesn't notice that she's the listing agent. Zillow only sees the house listed in the MLS and sees her as the owner within 3 days of the listing being active. Zillow has reached out to her by email, to the owner. Yes, to the owner of an active listing, not realizing she's also the listing agent, right? Offering their assistance in determining whether the agent that owner has picked to list their house is the right choice. This is cut and paste, guys. And giving their tips on how to change listing agents. Yeah, this is them marketing directly to your listings. Zillow tells her she should dump her listing agent, not knowing she is the agent at this point. We are here to help, they say in the emails. Realizing your current agent isn't getting the job done can be disheartening, even if you have a signed contract. The good news is many sellers end up changing their real estate agent for one reason or another, even if the contract hasn't expired. But they must part amicably. There's a right way and a wrong way to let your agent know that things aren't working out. And then they actually give the seller reasons to contact you and dump you as an agent. Lack of communication, lackluster or marketing tactics, and unreliable or unavailable. This is happening to your listings right now. Now, if you don't think that, ready for this? Sandra Fisher, if you are unmuted, please.
I believe so. Can you hear me?
Okay, can everybody hear Sandra Fisher? Here? Okay. Now, Sandra is an agent in Fallbrook, California. Now, Fallbrook is a suburb of Temecula, or a suburb of San Diego. It's kind of halfway between San Diego and Temecula. And Sandra had a listing recently. So let me just kind of give you the top line of this, and then I'm going to have her tell you exactly what happened. So she has a listing. All of a sudden, her seller is starting to contact her, basically pressuring her to get an offer and sell the house as quick as the seller thinks it should happen. However, she's using verbiage. The seller is using verbiage that's very, very, should we say, suspect, and asking how she can break the contract with Sandra. Now, Sandra does some digging and finds out that Zillow has contacted her seller of an actual active listing and given her tips on how to break the contract, because Zillow has made that seller a cash offer and wants to buy it via their iBuyer. Now, you'd think, okay, no big deal. But not only does that violate the code of conduct and the code of ethics, but it also specifically violates Article 16 of that code, because there's an article that says directly one brokerage or one agent cannot solicit the listings of another agent for similar or like services. Now, what this means is let's say you have a listing. Let's say that somebody wants to sell them a commercial building. They can contact them, but they cannot solicit them for like products, meaning you can't say, hey, dump your agent and come with me. So Sandra, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, and we're going to have a little conversation. This is happening right now. And again, folks, you say, oh, that's a Seattle realtor. It's happening in California. And Sandra's proof. So Sandra, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your listing.
Well, after about 2 months of setting it up, due to the fact that it was a hoarder listing. We had the first weekend, it was last weekend, open house. And the seller, out of the blue, up to this point, even though we had been working,
Sandra, can I interrupt real quick? Can you move a little closer to your computer or your phone, whatever you're thinking in? We can kind of hear you, but it's a little bit faint. So if you can get a little closer, move that beautiful face a little closer. We all want to see you.
How does that work?
That sounds better.
Okay, so after the open house, she immediately, out of the blue, started asking if there were any offers. And I said, well, yeah, but we just had the open house. She says, well, I need to get out of this contract. Tell me, how do I contact your broker? I'd like to buy you out. How do I buy you out? She says, I've got, I don't want to have to deal with hassle anymore. And I want my house sold as soon as possible. She says, I'm going to give you until Friday. And I'm trying to ask her what the reason is. She's seen me working really hard at preparing her home. There's all sorts of communication. I was paying attention to what you said there with the, so I've been communicating continuously. And she couldn't really come up with anything, but it was very, very pointed questions that out of the blue. And then she says to me that Zillow, she's gonna go with Zillow because they're gonna give her an offer. They're gonna pay cash for her home, and she wanted a guarantee that I could sell the house by Friday. Now, granted, this was exactly 2 days that I had the house on the market. So basically, that's what happened with me. And I can't see you anymore. I don't know if you went somewhere, but I can't see you anymore.
No, I'm sorry. I'm right here. It just went out. I'm listening. Okay, so she said she was going to give you until Friday. She gave you 5 days. So obviously she's been contacted by an iBuyer. In this case, clearly Zillow. Okay. Yes. And Zillow was basically, from what you and I could assess when you and I spoke on the phone, is that basically Zillow was offering her somewhere in the area. She claims they offered her 700, but that probably isn't the case. They probably offered somewhere in the 650, 660 range, right?
Yes.
Okay. So 660 range. She just wants the house sold. So they've already contacted her about listing the house or buying the house outright, right? And again, this is a hoarder house, so it's going to take a specific buyer, which I understand. So let me ask you this. So finally, you convinced her to keep it with you for a few days, and what happened with the listing?
Well, fortunately, one of my, one of the people that came through on the open house, I actually had 2 offers, and we had escalation clauses, and what started out as an $850 listing price ended up in $870 sale.
Okay.
So now she obviously thinks I walk on water, right? And she's, all I said to her, I said, look, I want you to eventually just sit down and do the numbers and realize the small fortune that you just saved, that was going to be taken from you. Exactly.
Now, even on their best day, we know that Zillow wasn't offering any more than 700 because that was what she said, which it probably wasn't that. But let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. So on their best day, they were offering 700 and you got 870.
Correct. Okay.
So it was more like, it was at least $170,000 difference and more like 200 grand when in honest reality, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is a perfect example of not only is Zillow violating the code of ethics, okay, and going against everything that NAR and CAR says, and NAR and CAR doing nothing. NAR and CAR spending all their time worrying about whether what you say about the Bible is violating the code of ethics. All the time while robbing customers, absolutely robbing people when it comes to their equity, because let's say Zillow had bought that. Let's say Zillow did offer 700. They're probably going to come in with some major repair requests. Okay, especially on this house, right? Because it's a hoarder house, and say, okay, well, after all said and done, we'll give you, $670. So that would have been a full $200,000 difference. Like you said, a small fortune that Zillow would have taken right out of her pocket. So now, of course, you walk on water. This is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen, of exactly what's happening with Zillow, NAR, and CAR. While Zillow violates our rules, decimates the equity of our customers, and takes houses for hundreds of thousands of dollars less than they're worth, NAR and CAR sit on their hands and talk about whether people's feelings are being offended. I don't know how else to say it.
So how do we fight back?
Yeah,
Okay.
how do we do this?
Okay, that's a very good question. As far as fighting back, this is incumbent on us, okay, to make sure that our customers know how this is happening and why it's happening. Every single agent here should be going to our customers and explaining exactly what Zillow is doing. Now, let me show you exactly what we're going to be doing, okay? Now, so Sandra, stay right there because I want to get your advice on, your comments on a couple of these things. Now, that is the listing side, okay? I want to show you the buy side first before I show you exactly what we can do to crush these people, because I know you're all chomping at the bit. So hold on. Now here's the question. Somebody said, did Sandra report this? She can, and she can if she wants. Guess what Zillow and CAR are going to do? Nothing. On our last talk last week, when we did this last week, we had about half a dozen people who said that they have witnessed violations of this kind or different and reported to CAR and NAR, and nothing has happened in over 90 days. It's not going to happen. So let me show you what's happening on the buy side. Then I'll show you exactly what we're going to do about this, okay? So don't go anywhere. So now that's what's happening on the listing side. So Zillow is basically trying to acquire properties, either through listing them, buying them, or going after your listings in the case of Sandra. So here's what they're doing on the buy side. This is a text string from Zillow to who they think is a buyer. Watch this. Hi, this is Meredith from Zillow. I got your showing request for 24010 Doverick Drive. I'd be happy to see if an agent is available to meet you there at a mutually convenient time. However, before I do, she says, Zillow lady says, before I do you have a buyer's agent that you're committed to? So they're trying to double end it, because if they send an agent out, that's going to be a listing agent from the listing side, because it's Zillow's owned house, or at least Zillow's listing. Ready for this? Watch. This says, I am an agent. Now, if you're texting or looking down or doing whatever, this is your career. Watch this. Thanks for letting me know. Unfortunately, this house is unavailable for tour at this time. There you go. I'm going to walk around for dramatic effect. There you go. Now, look at that. That's what's happening. So not only are they going after your listings directly into your buyer's ear or seller's ears, just like Sandra, but now they bought showing time to make you schedule showings through showing time, where you have to put the buyer's agent, buyer's information into the showing time. So now they have the buyer's information. They deny you a showing, and then they contact the buyer. As soon as this happens, they have this lady's buyer's information. So they say, oh, they go straight to the buyer, because they're going to violate the rules on the listing side. They're certainly going to violate the rules on the buy side. So they go to the buyer and say, was your agent not able to set up a showing for the house you want to see? Oh, we'll tell you what, why don't you just dump your buyer's agent and come straight to Zillow? We own the house anyway. You'll get to see the house in an hour, and we'll make your offer a priority. That's why they're doing this. Now, we had somebody email us and say, well, NAR and CAR needs to sue on behalf of the broker and the listing agent. You're right, but here's the problem. You're 100% correct, Juan. NAR and CAR have to sue Zillow on behalf of the broker who owns the listing. They govern the transaction. However, the problem is Zillow is simply breaking rules. They're not breaking laws. So the chance of a court upholding our rules is very small. What this would require is Zillow admitting they broke the rules and allow NAR and CAR to fine them, which is never going to happen. So much for that.
And I basically likened the transition, the kind of market expansion that Zillow is going through right now, where we've got this huge, profitable incumbent business with this trusted brand. And we're saying, all right, there is a technology disruption happening, and we've got to be the ones to build the bridge across the chasm and get to the other side. And that's why we are going so hard and so aggressively, but in a prudent way,
yeah.
At the new opportunity, and it's going extremely well.
Do you think even further a step forward about other avenues you could go into with mortgages, other aspects?
Yeah, it turns out that the house transaction is the hub of a series of really big, important, and potentially profitable transactions. Getting the mortgage, the title, the escrow, moving, telecommunication services, all this happens and changes and is keyed off of the house transaction. And we are making investments in most of these businesses, specifically mortgages, title, and escrow right now, and creating an integrated digital platform so that one day, the dream is that we dream one day of you having kind of almost a trade-in experience with your house, where you're standing in a house, a Zillow offers house that we own. You've been there 15 times. You've let yourself in with the Zillow app. We know who you are and where you live. We've already have a mortgage ready to go. We have an offer ready for your house when you're ready to transact, and you with one click can decide to move.
There he is. He told you a year ago what he's going to do to your business. Okay. Here's what he said. Let me summarize this in one sentence. You're standing at a Zillow-owned house or a Zillow-controlled house. Either they control the listing or they own the house, one of the two. Either they poached it from you, got a listing, or bought the house. So they own the house. You're standing. When he says you're, he means the buyer. So you're standing at a Zillow-owned house. You've let yourself in 15 times. That means you've used the app, the Zillow app, to let yourself in. There's no buyer's agent. You're not the listing agent because Zillow owns it. And we have a mortgage ready on your house. So with one click, you can trade your house in. No listing agent, no buyer's agent, no car, no NAR, no MLS. Buy. There it is right there. How are they doing this? They are doing this by showing your customers that realtors aren't needed in the future anymore. Watch this.
When Zillow buys your home, life gets a little less stressful because you can sell without repairs and choose your closing date, giving you more time for the things you love. Visit Zillow to request your free offer.
Here's the two things you just thought. You thought, oh, I can sell my house for top dollar without repairs. Even though they never said that, you thought that, and so did your customer. They also said, they also made your customer think this is commission free. Is that true? No, but your customer thought that. So that's what Open Door is doing. Here, that's what Zillow is doing. Here's what Open Door is doing.
Selling your house is hard. Selling it to Open Door, that's easy. All you have to do is go to opendoor.com and you'll get a competitive offer in just a few steps. So, what do you think? Well, I'm sold. We're sold. Get your free offer at opendoor.com.
Okay, another 15 seconds letting your customer know that they don't need you ever again. Because the first thing they said, selling your house is hard. So don't use a realtor. That's hard. Sell to Open Door and it's easy. It's exactly the situation that Sandra just had with her customer. Oh, it's so easy. The customer not knowing that it's going to cost her $200,000. That's the problem, okay? Now, Simon Raskoff used to be the CEO of Zillow, and then Richard Barton came in and fired him. And since then, 3 years ago, everything that I've seen them do reeks of a takeover of this business. So Zillow's trajectory is similar to Netflix, according to Inman. So Netflix, who did Netflix put out of business? Yeah, Blockbuster. Actually, Blockbuster put Blockbuster out of business. You want to know why? Because Blockbuster failed to improve, change, and grow and satisfy their customers, exactly what realtors are doing, which is a big problem. Now, some of the comments I got after they got after this article was this. Don Johnson said, relationship businesses will continue to win the day. No, they won't. And I know that's shocking. And I'm the only real estate trainer in the country right now saying this, but let me prove it to you. Now down here, Michael Kitchen says, bingo, there'll always be disruptors, but in the end, relationships will win. No, they will not. Your relationships will no longer win, meaning that only. Here's what's going to win. Value is going to win. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I have lots of value. Sure you do. Let me ask you a quick question. Can you numerically, not, gee, I work really hard for my commission, and gee whiz, I'm from a great brokerage, and I knew your father and all this crap nobody cares about. I'm talking about, can you numerically on a piece of paper or the spreadsheets we give you at C4 or the Career Compass seminar, can you show me, if I'm a seller, numerically how you can put more money in my pocket than another agent who's cutting their commission or an iBuyer that's supposedly doing it for free? Can you do that? Because I know for a fact that Tony and Tasha Brovidas can do that. In fact, they've done it 18 times and they're about to do it another 3 times. And I know hundreds of other agents who can do that. Can you do that? Because if you can't do that, either you're not even going to get the listing presentation, or you're going to get beat by somebody who is doing that. And I don't care how much you cut your commission. I mean, eventually you're going to be listing things for free. Not real plausible. Now watch this. Let me give you a 30-second story of exactly why your relationships will no longer guarantee you the business. Ready? Now, this right here represents a lady named Kelly Malone, who is a real estate broker, owner, and manager in Temecula, California. She owns Reliable Real Estate, and she's got about 50 agents. Now, 5 years ago, Kelly got engaged and married to her fiance. This is her fiance's best friend, Joe. So this is his best friend. Now, they get ready for the wedding, and Joe happens to be the best man, okay? So Joe is standing 6 feet away from Kelly, and Joe is the best man in her wedding and her husband's best friend. Question for you. Would you consider Joe part of Kelly's database? Do you think Joe would be in Kelly's database? I think so, because if the guy who is who is standing 6 feet away from you, standing up in your wedding, and the best friend of your husband is not in your database. Nobody is. I mean, my God, right? So yeah, so here's what happened. 1 year ago, 4 years after the wedding, Joe calls Kelly. And here's what he says. He goes, hey, Kelly, can I ask you a couple of questions? She goes, sure, Joe. Great to hear from you. I heard you guys had a good golf round last week, blah, 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 right? He goes, yeah, we really did. Hey, listen, can I ask you a couple of real estate questions? She goes, sure, I'm always here to help you. He goes, thanks. I know you've been a great broker and manager of reliable real estate in Temecula for a long time. I just sold my house to Open Door. Can I go over the numbers with you to see if I did a good job? Where's the relationship? Here's why. See, for 50 years, people have thought they had to go through a realtor to sell or buy a house. So of course you're going to go with the realtor that you have the relationship with. That's no longer the case. Okay. People are now realizing they don't have to use a realtor. They have other options. Let me prove it to you. So here's Joe. Okay. Let's say Joe just got a job transfer, so he needs to sell his house. Kelly assumes he's going to go with her because he was the best man in her wedding. So of course she's going to list with him. So he goes to work the next day, assuming he has to go with Kelly, but he talks to a friend at work, and his friend goes, oh, you need to sell your house quickly? Just go to Zillow.com, and they'll make you a cash offer right now. Or, heck, they'll just poach your listing. So he goes, wow, I never knew I had another option other than Kelly. I never knew I had that because they didn't for the last 40 years. But he's also got a third option, which is this one right here. You know who this is? This is Tony and Tasha Bruvides. Now, Tony and Tasha Bruvides know all the Career Compass tools and techniques, like the EAT, the PAT, the lawyer letter. In fact, I'm going to have him unmute. So, Tony and Tasha, didn't you just get called by a lawyer not long ago as a result of the lawyer letter you sent to them that was authored by the Career Compass? All you did is send it out, and you got a voicemail back from a lawyer who basically said, wow, I've got your really well-written letter, which, by the way, you don't write, folks. We write it for you. We've got it for you. I can just put their name at the top, your name at the bottom, and send it out. And you just got a voicemail, and it said, I'd love to have you come into my office. I get about half a dozen or a dozen referrals of people who need to sell or buy every year. Is that basically what happened?
No, that's correct. And we did, in fact, meet with that lawyer. And all we did actually is take what letter you had, and we just put our name there in the bottom and so on, and the Career Compass logo. And we got a call from her. We went to see her. Really, really pleasant conversation, and we're doing business together. And she recommended us to a bankruptcy lawyer also. So that was a two-ender deal. Yeah, that's all we did. But we also used that letter before with another lawyer that we use, a trust lawyer who we're doing a lot of business with also.
Okay, hold on. Don't go anywhere, Tony. Ed Neary has a question. Go ahead.
Real quick. When we're doing a listing, there is an option to include Zillow, Trulia, and the other companies. If we don't mark that we want our listing to be advertised, that will not kill Zillow?
Not anymore.
No,
okay. Good question. Not anymore. Here's why. Zillow now has a direct IDX feed straight from the MLS because they're part of NAR and CAR. So even if you put no on the IDX, the VOWs, the syndications, and all that stuff at the end of your listing, it still doesn't prohibit Zillow from, one, marketing with your information, but it never prohibited them from going straight to the MLS and looking online and seeing houses and going straight to the seller. So yeah, what's happened at the beginning of this year, it has even opened up Zillow to violate the rules even more than they used to. So now you can't avoid Zillow no matter what you do. Okay. So I appreciate that question, Ed. So
if I can interrupt 1 second.
Yep.
The only listing we put this year on the MLS is a mobile home that's there now that we listed because we know Zillow is not going to touch mobile homes. Every other listing we don't put on the MLS right now. We haven't put any listings this year on the MLS because of Zillow and until they resolve the Zillow case.
Exactly. So this is kind of a point I usually don't mention, but since Tony mentioned, I'll go ahead and do it. So Tony and Tasha haven't even put any of these listings that they have at 7% on the MLS. I mean, they've been marketing them themselves. I mean, this is real hardcore, real world real estate, guys. I mean, this is some great stuff. So there's an example of the lawyer letter. Okay, so let's get back to this. But guys, I've already given you like 5 examples of amazing techniques that we teach you here at the Career Compass. I mean, it's unbelievable. So let me get back to this real quick, and we're going to come back to Tony in a second. Now, so here's Tony and Tasha right here. Now, let's talk about you versus the other options that your customer, that your relationship has. You have the relationship. You put all your eggs in that basket. You have the MLS, and you have a sign in front of the front yard. Okay, Zillow's got a cash offer. no open houses, and fast closing. What do Tony and Tasha have? Tony and Tasha use the 7% technique, and they're doing it 21 times just in the last year and a half. Okay, they drive up the price. They can sell the house way faster than any other agent, way more than Zillow or Open Door or any of those customers, put way more money in the seller's pocket, more money in their pocket, more money in the buyer's agent pocket. This is what I'm talking about. When he was talking to that agent at that party this weekend, she goes, "Oh, you'd never be able to do it around here." Yes, we will, and we are doing it in San Francisco area. And there are agents in San Francisco getting 7% commissions, and they're putting more money in the seller's pocket, more money in their pocket, and more money in the buyer's agent pocket, and they're driving up comps. They're doing everything that lady that Tony talked to didn't know how to do. I hope to God, and I hope for our industry, that lady gets to the career compass and learns a few things. That's what I'm talking about, guys. There are going to be so many people out of real estate who don't know what the career compass can teach you. All right.
No, they're not.
About,
Can you and I
sorry?
go to the association and do a presentation and wake up everybody?
Yes, we can. Anytime you want.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You. Okay.
Set it up anytime you want. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. I'll get out of bed and I'll come and do it. I'll do it anytime, anywhere, anytime, anywhere. There you go.
Let's do it this Friday. This Friday. We have to have a deadline.
Okay, fine. Let's set it up. Tell me where to go and I'll be there. Absolutely.
EWR.
Which one?
EWR in Anaheim.
Where is? Oh, that's in Anaheim.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Are they doing Zoom or in person?
I think it would have to be in person.
Okay. Well, if you can set it up, I would be happy to be there. Love to. And that goes for everybody else on this call, by the way. At your brokerage, okay, whether it be Zoom or in person, and at any board or any association, all you do is right up here in the chat box. Go ahead and let us know that you'd like us to come into your office, or do a private Zoom for your office. Be happy to do it anytime. There's no cost whatsoever. All right. So here's your 3 options. Right. So now here's what's going to happen. The value you have is 0. If the house is worth $1 million, you sell it for $1 million. That's 0 incremental offer. Incremental value, I say. Zillow has 30 grand because he thinks Zillow's going to save him $30,000 in commission. Is that true? It is not. But Tony and Tasha sell the house for 40 grand more using the 7% technique, put more money in his pocket, their pocket, and the buyer's agent's pocket. Now, let me save your career. Ready? If you have the relationship and you know the tools and techniques that Career Compass teaches, you are unstoppable. You will beat everybody. And even that lady in San Francisco, oh boy, I tell you, I'd love to do a listing presentation against her. Beat her all day long. So if you have the relationship and the 7% technique and the other things that we teach, you cannot be beat. Okay, Tony and Tasha have not been beat in a listing presentation in as long as they can remember. Okay, so he might do this, but he's going to want to do this, and that's the point here. Now, let me show you exactly what to do if your listings. For every one of your listings, I want you to show every one of your listings and in your listing presentations, because this is what we're going to do about Zillow poaching our listings. Watch this. Now, I want you to pretend that you are a person who is listing your house either in a listing presentation or you've already listed with me. Let me show you what I'm going to show you, which will decimate any chance they'll ever even listen to Zillow or any other iBuyer in 2 minutes. And by the way, this presentation I'm about to show you, this slide is available to every single Career Compass member right on our website. Okay, you can download it in PDF format, JPEG format. You can have a PowerPoint of it. You can actually just have a video of it to show it to them. It's amazing. All right. Now, let's say that this is a house being listed. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's your house. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and list your house. All right. This is a realtor listing your house for $1 million. Now, here's a buyer's agent. So let's go over the numbers. There's $1 million house. Listing is 5% commission. A full price offer from a buyer's agent, because that's all we're getting these days. Okay, $50,000 in commission for $950 back to the seller. So again, $50,000. This is all before expenses because they're all about the same. Okay, so $950 goes back to the seller in a normal transaction. $950,000. Okay, after commission, before expenses. However, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you are contacted by Zillow, or thinking about going to Zillow or Open Door or Redfin or any of these other companies with using their iBuyer program or giving them their listing because they're going to be offering you something crazy, let me show you exactly what happens. Now, I'm going to give you 2 examples. The first one is where they're actually offering a price that's the same as the listing price, which is hardly ever happens. Sandra is proof of this. And the second one I'm going to show you is what they normally offer. Now, watch. So let's say that you go ahead and go with Zillow or Open Door. Zillow and Open Door right there. Okay. The price is $1 million still. The commission is 5%. Now, let's say you get a full price offer from Open Door and Zillow, which you won't. Sandra just proved it. Usually you're going to get 8 to 10, sometimes 20% lower than the list price. But just for this example, I'm going to pretend that you, the seller, is getting a full price offer. And I'm still going to show you how it's terrible for you. Watch. Now, let's say we get a full price offer from Opendoor Zillow. Now, Opendoor and Zillow have this thing called service charges, and they call it service charges or relationship fees to mask the fact that they have commission, but they're calling it something else. So they can advertise as zero commission. Their average commission, the average service fee for Zillow and Opendoor is 7.5%. So what you think is that your seller's now going to get $925, right? Because the 5% commission is going away. You think you get $925. So sure, I'm paying a little bit more, but I don't have to go any open houses and stuff. Wrong. Watch this. Their service charges, their relationship fees only cover the buy side of the commission. It does not cover the listing side. I want to say that again. This $75,000 that you think replaces the 50 grand, this 7.5%, you think it covers both sides of the transaction. It does not. It only covers them. So now the listing agent, in this case me, I have to go back to my seller for my 2.5%. So now the seller on a full price offer is paying 10% commission, and that's on a full price offer. But Sandra just proved you're not going to get a full price offer from Opendoor and Zillow. You're going to get some discount, on average 8%. So on $1 million house, $920. Sandra was 200 grand below. That's just an example. Okay? So on average, you're going to get $920. Now let's go over the numbers because this is real world. There's their 7.5%, $69,000. Then you think your seller's getting $851, right? Wrong, because the listing agent still has to be paid. So there's 2.5% right there. So the listing agent, after being paid, so the seller gets $828. This is real world versus real world. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you can choose to get $950 or $828. What's the difference? $122,000 out of your pocket. Sandra just proved it. $122. Now, 95% of all of your sellers, after they see this, and again, you can download this right from our website, guys, 95% of all sellers are going to go, okay, man, forget that idea. If Zillow contacts me, I'm going to go tell them to jump in a lake. Exactly. That's what we got to do about this. Do not rely on NAR and CAR to save your career. They have turned their back on you. Rely on your own tools and techniques and rely on C4. We will save your career together. You're going to be part of our community if you're not already. Heck, half the people on this call are already part of C4. Now, some sellers might say this, well, I'm just going to get rid of the listing agent and their commission. So now, since I'm not using a buyer's agent and not using a listing agent, it'll be more profitable to me, won't it? Wrong. Watch this. On a full price offer, even on a full price offer, you'd think that if you got a full price offer from an iBuyer, since they're doing it for commission for free, you'd make way more money. Wrong. Watch this. Even on a full price offer, it's $25,000 more expensive. And on a realistic offer, it's $99,000 more expensive. So here's what I just showed you. I just showed you a numerical way to show your sellers, whether you already have the listing with them or you're doing a listing presentation, that you are not only the better option, which we all know, but you're also the least expensive option. I want everybody to hear this. Realtors are the highest quality, lowest price option to sell a house. And now you can prove it to them numerically. And you can take this and change it to your listing or just show them the video that you can download right from our website. It's an amazing tool. This is just one of 110 or 120 techniques that we're going to bring to you. Here's another one for you. Ready? This is called the How Should I List spreadsheet. All you do is put the comp value right here, then their mortgage right there. That calculates their equity. It also calculates all three options. Ready for this? Online, meaning an iBuyer, your competition, or you. And the range of their equity they're going to get because all the formulas are already put in for you. How cool is this? Just like the lawyer letter that Tony and Tasha just used. All you got to do is put their name at the top, your name at the bottom, and send it out. They're going to get probably a dozen referrals or a dozen deals this year just from that one lawyer letter. Can you honestly afford to not be part of C4? Guys, let me explain something to you. C4 is $19 a month. One transaction, one, pays for it for 66 years on average. One transaction pays for your C4 Career Compass Concierge Connection for 66 years. This is the future of real estate, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you this. This is basically how this works. So it calculates their equity, how much of their equity they're going to get in all three options. Okay, if you go with Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you go with an iBuyer, you're going to get 100 to 330 of your $400,000 in equity. Here, they're going to get 302 to 397 of your equity. And here, going with me, using the 7% technique, 339 to 433. Which one would you like to do? Want to go with me? Let's get started tonight. This is just another tool that you can use. It's amazing. Right? It's amazing. Okay, this is why we love beef. Yes, and I love you too, Suzanne. Ready? Now, watch this. This is somebody using the 7% technique before the craziness of 2020. Watch this. But listen to this. We just had a sale of a house that you have, Phil, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, tell the folks what happened to you by applying the 7% technique.
We had a house that was for sale for $500,000. We had no offers on it. We had the client agree to the 7% price because I told him there would be a buying frenzy if we could get the price up to 7%. Within 1 hour after putting the 7% listing on the MLS, we had 10 calls on it, and we got an all-cash offer between the people who wanted to buy it of $595,000 closed escrow in 1 day.
Okay. Now, this is not because of the interest rates and the 2020, 2021, crazy COVID market, because this was before that. This was at the beginning of 2020, before any of this happened, before we had any of the interest rates. Now, he had a house that wasn't selling. He pulled it off the MLS and put it back on using the 7% technique. In fact, he used the 7% extreme technique. Within 1 hour of a house that wasn't selling, within 1 hour, he got 3 offers, 580, 585, and 595 cash. Now, can you imagine? Let me ask you a quick question. Can you imagine the seller of this house ever going anywhere other than to Bill to buy or sell houses? Never, never. And they'll never use an iBuyer. So this is the agents that will survive in the future right there. You must be this guy right here. Because imagine him selling the house now. He'd sell for $650. My God, the seller would think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, just like Sandra's a seller thinks that she walks on water. Okay, so there you go. Now, I'm going to talk about one last thing that we can talk about C4 and all the stuff that we're going to bring to your career, guys. This is the elephant in the room. The 800-pound elephant in the room, 800-pound gorilla in the room, whatever you call it. Can Zillow become the MLS? Now, some of you are thinking this. Wellington, even in your own example that you just did, even though the seller took 828, okay, which took a bath on their equity, right? I still made a commission. Look at that. I still made a commission. I got a commission. And even though I sold it to Zillow in their iBuyer program, they're just going to put it on the MLS with a commission, and a buyer's agent is basically to see it, bring their buyer, make a $25,000 commission, and everything is fine. See, Wellington, Zillow's going to insert themselves into the middle of all transactions, but everybody's still going to make money. No one's going to be put out of business. This is what they want you to think. This is not really what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. Do you know that Zillow already knows they have all the buyer eyes in the world on their website? They have more buyers that go to their website than every other website in the United States combined. So they know they have the buyers. So do you think that Zillow really wants to buy the house through an agent using the MLS? We just proved that Sandra knows that they don't want to buy that. They want to buy it out from under her. And they want to buy it straight from the seller, either by poaching your listing or just going straight to the seller and buying it, or getting the listing because they're a brokerage and controlling it. So they're all going to get control of the listing, okay, one way or another, which basically cuts you out completely and your commission. Bye-bye. Okay, so much for you. Now, are they going to put it on the MLS? What motivation do they have to put it on the MLS, at least in the beginning? They have all the buyers already. Why not try to sell the house straight through Zillow, which they are doing? So if it makes it to the MLS, it's because it's table scraps that nobody else wants. So at least in the beginning, there is no MLS, which gets rid of the commission, which gets rid of the buyer's agent, because the buyer's agent's not going to see it on the MLS, because it's not on the MLS, which makes their buyer go straight, gets rid of their commission, straight to Zillow like everybody else. So it goes from the seller to Zillow to the buyer. No listing agent, no buyer's agent, no car, no NAR, no MLS. Everybody wave goodbye. Now watch this. This whole process, and yes, the question that we just had, can we get the 7% training? We are going to have a special 7% and 7% extreme training for all C4 members in June, at the beginning of June, and we are going to be going over it and over it so you get it every single time. Every single C4 member is going to be part of that. It's going to be amazing, and that's in addition to your regular 2 sessions, so you're getting them, okay? I can't wait either. Okay? And by the way, that's all going to be recorded, so you can watch it over and over and over and over again. Yes, you will know the back of your, you will know the 7% technique like the back of your hand. All right, Now watch this. So this whole process is what's going to happen. However, if your database knows, just like that Bill example we just used, just like Tasha and Tony, that you can do the 7% technique, it stops the whole process from happening, doesn't it? Because Zillow never takes control of the house. There you go. Can you imagine what would have happened with Sandra's house if she had listed it for 7%? She would have sold it for $870. She would have sold it for $950. That's real realtor value right there. So this stops Zillow from doing everything that they're doing. But you have to be able to do the 7% technique to do this. Don't worry. We'll make sure you can. All right. Now, that's basically how C4 works. Here's how it works. Okay. Right up in the chat box. I want everybody to open the chat box. Open the chat box, right? Okay. There's a little link in there on how to go and sign up for C4 for a whopping $19, guys. Okay, ready? How many people are on this talk right now? Ready? Right? There's 120 people on this talk, okay? 120 people should be signing up for C4. If this doesn't make sense to you, nothing's going to. For $19, no contract. If you hate it, you're out, okay? I mean, just the stuff that we showed you today is worth that. One transaction pays for it for the rest of your life, and we're gonna have all this training and bonus training and your 2 sessions and all the other benefits we talked about every single month coming to you for $19. Guys, it's the price of Starbucks. It's the price of a drink in a bar. It's amazing, okay? Now, you register, you're going to get a thank you email. Then, in 1 week, you will have this come to your door. This is your welcome packet, your Career Compass welcome packet with all the information in it, as well as all of these profiles of all your legends, as well as profiles of all your master mentors and all the great training. Guys, you're going to have too much great training. And don't worry, you don't have to be on every single coaching call that we do every single month. You can always review them later. Okay, they're all recorded. Okay, and don't worry if there's one of them that you're not interested in, no problem. You don't have to be on them. So don't beat yourself up, guys. Again, just get on them as often as you can. Be part of this community. Come to the seminar, the live seminar. Hey, you're gonna be right up front, roped off section. It's gonna be amazing. And get back into this business because Car and NAR are not saving you, folks. Not at all. So then what happens? Each month you're gonna get text on your phone from a dedicated text line. It comes every single month. So letting you know about when the calls are. And by the way, they're always the same time. It's the 4th day of the week. On the 4th week, at 4 o'clock for C4. How cool is that? Okay, and don't worry, we'll remind you. Don't worry. Now, emails will come into you every month, letting you know about the times and dates and locations of not locations, but the times and dates of the thing, as well as a phone call every once in a while with what? A referral. Pick it up, guys. One referral. One pays for this program for the rest of your life. Okay, there's 120 people on this call. There should be 120 people signing up for this. If this doesn't make sense to you, nothing in the world is going to ever, okay? Now, there's that spreadsheet I just showed you, okay? There's that video I just showed you. You all want that, along with the crush sheets and the EAT and the PAT and the lawyer letter and all these. Guys, there's 112 to 130 different techniques we're going to be teaching you at C4. You even just one of them blows your business up, what I call C4. Now, you can also go to thecareercompass.com or scan this code. So, right up here, I want everybody to open the chat box. Everybody open it, okay? Open it up. Open it. Finger it. Put your finger on it. Put your finger on it. Finger at the chat box. Okay, open it up. Sign up for C4 for $19. It's totally guaranteed. There's no contract. There's no initiation. It's not like, oh, $500 to get into the $19 a month. No, $19. That's it. No contract. Now, Bill Kanoki, okay? This is a lady that Debbie Baptiste, here's what she just said. I strongly recommend anyone who hasn't committed to C4 to real evaluate your business model and get in there. Because this is our tax guy. Normally it would cost $500 to have a consultation for 1 hour with him. It's free to you. Free. You're going to pay 0 taxes. We're going to show you how. Okay. 100% deductible. This guy's going to change. This guy's going to save you 20 to 30 grand every single year. This man is going to teach you how to get at least 6 new transactions every single year on top of with the senior market. This guy's going to teach you how to get divorce leads where you have to be the listing agent. It's amazing stuff. This lady right here is going to make your social media explode. She's also going to show you how to really get your website to pop. It's going to be amazing stuff. And yours truly. What am I going to teach you how to do? Here's what I'm going to teach you how to do. I'm going to teach you how to kick the crap out of your competition and the iBuyers. And I promise, you and me together, here we are. There's nobody else here. There's not 120 people on this call. It's just you and me. And I'm going to be your personal coach, along with all these other people, for the rest of your career, making sure that you are a millionaire. Period. End of story. That is my goal. Okay. Right here, right now, today, I'm saying it. So, guys, for $19 a month, you can't get this kind of commitment. You cannot get somebody, a company, a team of trainers and a personal coach right here, along with all these other people, okay, that are committed to your business anywhere for anywhere near that amount of money. You can't get it for 100 times that, but we'll bring it to you every single month. And that's our guarantee. It's amazing. I mean, folks, 97% of the people in this program say it's one of the best things they've ever done. And we've only had it around for 5 months. So here's how this works. Many of you are Career Compass members. We have 2 products, okay? Well, we have 3, but let me talk about the 2. The first one is the Career Compass Seminar, okay? You pay one time, $195 or $99 if you're part of C4, right? #1 rated live stuff. These are our live events, okay? All over the state of California. Amazing training, 5-star locations, network with hundreds of agents, open bar, yes, free drinks, yes, free, okay? Orlando's like, wait a minute, I can drink this much. And he's right, he can, okay? CMPS designation, that's super cool. Lifetime free attendance, come back for free for life. You pay once, you come back for free for life, okay? License renewal through our third-party affiliate company, okay? And so that's our live seminar. It's $195, or you can get it for $99 if you're joining C4 for $19. So in other words, for $99 plus $118, you're in on both of them. Amazing, guys. $118, that's less than 1 month of crappy coaching. Less than 1 month. Okay, there's no decision. Okay, again, there's 120 people on this call. 120 people better sign up for this. This is our industry. Be part of the future. Now, Career Compass Concierge Connection, $19. Ready? Monthly live coaching sessions for not for 30 minutes on the phone. No, 1.5 to 3 hours via Zoom. Excellent. Okay, monthly live sessions with legends of real estate live. You're gonna meet these people live. Okay, yearly tune-up, video library. That's so valuable. Okay, on demand plus coaching plus one-on-one coaching, reserve seating. Okay, plus our receptions. Improved Google search rate. You guys, the improvement in Google search in your Google results is worth the $19 right there. People pay more than that just to improve in Google, and that's just one of our side notes. It's just one of our many benefits. Okay. License renewal, if you want to do it online, we have this system to do it right for you. Oh, it's so easy, so fast, so quick, so painless, all still within the regulations with our third-party affiliate company. So this is the Career Compass live seminars, $195, one time, come back for free for life. This is the Career Compass Concierge Connection. Every single realtor in the United States should be part of this program. This is our business. Let's take it back. Take it back, folks. Take that business back. Okay?
Hey, quick question. So
yes, Edmure, go.
Sorry, but if we're not going to use the MLS anymore, and I want to find Tony's property, how can I find it?
Tony, you still on?
Yes, I am. Okay, what I do now is I use Zip Your Flyer, and we send flyers to every agent around, okay? So they have our flyers, and that's how they can find it. And we do tell them 4% commission. It's right there. You know, so we don't use the MLS, but we use Zip Your Flyer. And believe it or not, agents do see those flyers. Okay, so you know, I don't know where you are, where you're located, but we send them to about 1,300.
I am in San Diego, California. But what I'm saying, if everybody is gonna start doing this, and I use the MLS. When I have a client, the first thing I go to MLS. So if I go to the MLS and your property is not in the MLS, I'm not going to see it. So that was my question. How can I see the property?
Ed, let me explain something to you, and I'll preface it with something else that Beef said, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. When Beef first said, when he got on, he says, you're the people, you think that the people you know are going to be the one that are going to deal with you, and he gave the example of that wedding. I forget what it was, Beef, okay? And they didn't list with them. Well, I'm going to tell you something that got me butthurt. Our next door neighbor, we were away in Mexico. We came back. He listed his property with somebody else. Our next door neighbor, who we have a great relationship with, okay, listed it with somebody else. Now, when we list a property, and I will, this is where it comes to you. When we list a property with a 7% technique, we listed on a Friday, it's sold by the following Saturday during our open house, sold immediately. That property, 3.5 weeks later, is still sitting there, not even an offer. Well, they had a couple of offers, nothing happened. It's still sitting there. We would have had it sold because of the 7% technique. So when you brought up what happens with your clients and so on, listen, when you list a property and you send it to, let's say, 1,500 agents around the MLS, with Zip Your Flyer, trust me, you're going to get people coming to your open house, and you're going to get that property sold. And if your buyer says anything, you already know where the property is. You can always tell him.
Yeah, I think my question was like, if I have a buyer for your property and we're not going to use MLS, how can I find your property?
You're going to get my flyer. You're going to get my flyer and Zip Your Flyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, every agent is.
The point is here, and I think Tony is exactly correct. See, the thing is, he sent it to 1,500 agents. So these agents, I mean, think about these agents. These agents have gotten a flyer from him through the Zip Flyer thing. It's 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and it's all got 4% buy side on it. They're paying attention to this. I mean, the nice thing about it, and Ed, you know this because you've been to a seminar, once you do a 4% buy side listing or 5% buy side listing, those agents are just chomping at the bit. Hey, they're calling you. Hey, Ed, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? You got all these people working for you, no matter what brokerage they're at. So the thing is that Tasha and Tony have done is they've built up a tremendous reputation in the Sacramento market where everybody knows them because they're all getting their flyers, even independent of the MLS, getting their flyers every time they have a 4% buy side listing. I'll tell you, these agents are listening to these people. So become your own MLS and have a great reputation. And that's the idea. And yes, it takes a little time, but once you start doing it, that's where your business is going. And when your sellers go, oh, well, you didn't put it on the MLS, that means it's not going to be on Zillow. Don't care about that. We're going to have this thing sold in a day for more than you can even think of. If I can do that, would you worry about the MLS and worry about Zillow? No, I don't care about those guys. I don't care about them. You sell this house in a day for more than I want, you're good to go. You're the greatest agent of all. So you got to build up this reputation, but it's not hard to do. I mean, I'm sure that when Tony sent out that very first 7% listing with the Zip Flyer, a lot of people called him and said, "Hey, Tony, how you doing?" You know, type of thing.
Well, the thing is, another thing I want to add here is that we also tell our sellers, Ed, that if in a week it's not sold, we'll put it on the MLS. But believe me, never have we ever put it in the MLS because it's sold right away. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. All right, hey guys, I got a quick little fun video for you. So, okay, by the way, first off, okay, right here, open your chat box while you're watching this. Open your chat box. I want to show you this new video of ours.
If you're a real estate agent, there's only 2 ways to renew your license in the state of California. Doing it online requires you to sit in front of your computer for at least 7 days. Most of the tests are designed to fail you. There is days upon days of required studying. Or you can just do this. The #1 most popular seminar for realtors in California. Full DRE license renewal for our affiliate partners before, during, or after the seminar. Seminars each year all over the state of California. Pechanga Resort Casino. Anaheim Convention Center. San Diego Convention Center. Napa Valley, California. Sacramento on the Delta King Riverboat. Pasadena Convention Center. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, everybody go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, coming up in June. Yeah, my 2 girlfriends eating right there.
Locations have sightseeing, shopping, nightlife, and more.
Yeah. Hey, Catherine, shopping. Yeah. Watch this. Lifetime ticket, $195. You get it for $99 if you're in Seymour. Look at that. All that great stuff. Yes. Free drinks, you drunks.
Is unheard of. $195 One.
Yeah, I know. We all got that. Okay, guys, here that's kind of one of our new videos. That kind of centers on the license renewal aspect of it through our third-party affiliate company. But point being, guys, go to live seminars, be part of C4, be part of the future of real estate. This is it. I mean, we have people, I mean, half the people on this call right now are already part of C4. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know right there. People are just wanting this information. Okay, this is the newest community. This is what you need to be part of. And again, one transaction pays for this for the rest of your natural born life. And if we only get you one transaction, we failed you. And we're not going to fail you. Okay. You will have that team of trainers, including myself, at your disposal for the rest of your career for $19 a month, plus some of the best realtors in the history of real estate teaching you monthly, seminars, all the benefits, license renewal. Guys, doesn't get any better than this. Doesn't get any better than this. All right. So,
Hey, Beef. We had a
Yes.
good question. Someone asked whether it was by law that they had to be a member of NAR and the MLS. So if you could please explain.
no,
Yes.
no. Let me explain something to you. Okay. NAR and CAR is a club. That's all it is. It's a club. Okay. It has no regulatory authority. It's not part of the state. It's not part of the government. It's nothing but a club that you pay for certain benefits that they're not even providing anymore. Let me ask you a question. If you had to list all the benefits you get from CAR and NAR, what would you say? You'd say zip forms, and that'd be the end of the list. Okay. And don't worry, we're working on that too. So with that being said, it's a club, guys. That's all it is. And it's supposed to be representing you within the strength of the numbers. Well, they sold you out. That's all there is to it. It's my opinion, and I'm right. They sold you out. They partnered with Zillow. In my opinion, this is why NAR and CAR were not hard on Zillow for the last 4 or 5 years, because they knew they were going to partner with them. I mean, it's unbelievable. Okay. Can we be a part of CAR and not NAR? No, unfortunately not. You can't, unfortunately. So don't worry. We're working on the alternative. Okay. But in the meantime, make sure you can defend your business using the tools and techniques we're going to teach you. Not only the 7% technique, but that video I showed you on how these companies work. Things like the lawyer letter, the EAT, the PAT, okay? All these great tools and techniques that basically ensure your success in real estate. I mean, there's a reason that our seminar, people are amazed by it. Okay? Because for next to nothing, you get guaranteed success in the future. And all you got to do is do what we tell you. Tony and Tasha are a perfect example. Okay? Look at that. There's Ed. Look at that Ed. Look at that Ed Neary. Okay? Awesome.
This is Vicki Rennie, and
Vicky!
I've been to your seminars and I love you.
I love you too.
Anyway, how do you get over when you list something? It's a rule that you have to go on the MLS after a certain time. Is it that you just put it under register, or how do you get over that?
Okay, I think that's a question. Was that a question for Tony when he does when he sells?
There is a box there that you click that says that the person does not want to be in the MLS. Now, bear in mind, MLS is they're the kind of people that will not get to you in anything until about a week later when they see your listing, your sign. Okay, another agent is gonna get jealous and gonna say, hey, that sign is up, whatever. In that week, that house is sold. So I don't care. We don't care at that point. You know, and again, there is a box that you can actually click, say you don't want to be in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very simple. You do not have to list. An MLS listing is at the seller's permission. The seller has to give you permission to put it in the MLS. Okay, guys, let me explain something. We live and die by the MLS and CAR and NAR. Stop doing that, okay? You should live and die by you and your brokerage, okay? You are an independent real estate agent that markets and sells houses because you have expertise, negotiation skills, and other things to benefit the seller. That's what you do, okay? Do not let the MLS or CAR and NAR overshadow who you are and what you do, okay? You are an agent to sell houses. The MLS is just an agreement amongst all the agents to sell each other's listings for the benefit of everybody and the seller. But if you don't need the MLS, you are under no obligation to use the MLS to sell a house. It's your listing. You went out and got that. All you got to do is if you're going to be a member of the MLS, you've got to get that dumb form signed or check the box that says exclude from MLS. That's all you've got to do. Because if you do not have the permission of the seller to list a house in the MLS, you can't do it. So guess what? and you always, 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 always do what the seller says, not what the MLS says and not what Car and NAR says. Your fiduciary responsibility, 1000%, is to that seller and their needs. So make sure, guys, we need to change the mentality in this industry. Okay, we need to change. Okay, you are the agent. You are in charge. This is your listing. Okay, the MLS is just sitting there, in case you need them to help you. You know what? You don't need their help sometimes. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. You don't need their help. You're great. You're a great agent. Okay, don't let somebody else. I mean, this is not a daycare, even though the MLS wants it to be. Okay, stand up, fight for yourself. That's how we do it.
Steve,
so we don't have to pay the MLS dues then? We don't have to pay the dues if we don't want to?
Yeah, Ed, you got to pay MLS dues if you want to be a member of the MLS. You do not have to have a subscription to the MLS. But if you want to list your house or have access to that listings or on the MLS, you do. Again, that's just a company. That's just a service. Okay.
I pay the MLS dues, by the way. So everything is paid quarterly. We pay them, okay? Just in case we somehow have to put something in the MLS, like we just did. Like I said, we put a mobile home there. So we have to pay the dues. Okay, so we pay them, but you know what? They're insignificant to begin with. The only reason why when I first started in this business here in California, the only reason why I went in the MLS is to get that Masters Club designation. That's the only reason. That's all it gives, nothing else. Okay, I've been through that. I don't need that Masters Club designation every goddamn year, pardon my language. But I mean, it's just right now, it's about us helping the sellers, getting the most for the sellers, not helping the MLS or NAR or CAR. And that's why, or Zillow. We don't care about those things. Yes, especially Zillow.
Especially them.
Okay, Beef, can you make sure that you let everybody know, because we're talking about canceling NAR and CAR and what have you, that they do have to abide by if they're with a brokerage. So there's a little bit of confusion there. If you could clear that up.
Let me explain the rules to you. If you are at a brokerage, if you are hanging your license at a brokerage that has an agreement with the local board, okay, then per those rules, if you hang your license under that brokerage, you have to be a member too. So here's how it works. If the broker of record has a membership at CAR, NAR, and the board, and you hang your license under them, you have to be a member as well. Those are the rules. That's why there's a lot of independent brokerages out there that don't have that agreement and make membership at CAR, NAR, and the local board optional. Now, most brokerages have this agreement. However, this is what this whole thing is about. This whole thing is about us as agents, not changing brokerages. I'm not telling you to do that. I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is push back on your broker of record who has the agreement with NARCAR and the board that all of us will be members. Push back and say, you people are not representing us. NARCAR and the board, either you start representing us to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars that we send you, or we will rescind the agreements we have with you that makes every one of my agents be a member, and I'll make it optional. And I'm sure that they may opt out. So that's what we need to do. Again, guys, I know the title of this talk is to cancel your NAR and CAR membership, and it's basically to make you understand that we are the ones in control, and we're the ones that need to push back on the broker, and the broker pushes back on NAR and CAR, because if they know they have our money, no matter whether they represent us, they're not going to represent us, and they're not doing it now. They're all about money, guys. We all know that NAR and CAR are all about money. So if they want our money, they better represent us. Right now, they're not doing it, and that's the point. Any other quick questions? All right, everybody go up to this chat box right here. This chat box, open it up. Okay, guys, if you are not part of C4, you are lost. Be part of this great, great organization. Call anybody or ask anybody. Half of them are on this call, or half the people on this call. Ask anybody if C4 is an amazing program. Like I said, we just had that technique the other day when Lori Hallquist, the tallest female realtor in all of the United States, showed us exactly how to do options. It was amazing. Before that, we had Marguerite Crispillo. It was unbelievable. We had people standing up, clapping like this. Okay, we're gonna have Tom Daves. Okay, we're gonna have Jim Zers tomorrow. Guys, sign up right now and be part of this C4 call tomorrow. Jim Zers tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Jim Zers will be right here in the Career Compass Studios, teaching you how to get into the senior market. My God, that's a gold mine. Just that one call, okay? That one session tomorrow is worth being in C4 for the rest of your life. Just that will make you more money than C4 will ever cost you. There is no decision making on this. You've got it. Joseph Lamb, Look at that. Look at this. Look at that comment right there. Joseph Lamb just said, best $19 I've ever spent. I'm sorry, but if you're not in C4, be here or be nowhere. I mean, it's amazing. It's unbelievable.
Yes, I also do financial planning. I help people with life insurance and this and that. So that's going to help me a lot because baby boomers are retiring. So selling the property buyers, I mean, it's great. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, I can't say it. I mean, nowhere in real estate do you have an organization where the actual customers come on to the sales pitch day and say, you got to do this. I mean, there's no other organization out there. I mean, nowhere is there a seminar where all the people who are there go home to their broker and you go, wow, everybody should go to that. There's no seminar out there. Now, no disrespect to Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, Tony Robbins, all the rest of them, but 9 times out of 10, you come back, you're like, all right, yeah, it was what I expected. It's door knocking, cold calling, and database and this and that. It's basically what you expect. Nobody has ever come to our seminar for the first time, that is, and got what they expected, because they got so much more. Most of you know this. Most of you on this call have been to our seminar and go, wow, that was way more than I expected. I mean, I think almost everybody can say that. So, and Sandra's sitting there going, wait, I haven't been to the seminar yet. Don't worry, Sandra, you will, and you're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be great. So, any other quick questions I can answer?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
This is Chuck Simons. Hey, when we're talking about the agents, the brokers can leave the MLS, but the agents, they're not going to be able to conduct business without being underneath the license of a broker.
Okay. Yes. I mean, you have to be under a broker. And we're talking about whether the broker is a member of CAR and NAR in the board, not a member of the MLS.
Right. Yeah, the agents can't go rogue.
Yeah, you can't. Okay, all right, guys, theoretically, if you had a broker's license, you could go out and sell property for sellers or buy properties with buyers and not have an MLS subscription, not be part of CAR, not be part of NAR, and just be your own broker. You could theoretically do that. I mean, the MLS and CAR and NAR are supposed to make it a lot easier. And I am not telling you, the title of this talk is not leave the MLS. The MLS does what we want it to do. Okay, the MLS allows all of us to sell more property and make more money. So I'm not bashing on the MLS at all. In Tony's case, he has opted not to use the MLS in some cases, which is fine, okay? Which is totally fine. You have the option of doing that, and your seller has the option of doing that. My problem is with CAR and NAR, who have turned their back on us, even though we're paying them hundreds of millions of dollars every year. That's my problem. So again, separating this, if you're gonna be at a brokerage that does not have an agreement with CAR and NAR, you're still going to have a subscription at the MLS, because all brokerages do pretty much. Even if they don't even use the MLS, which I'm sorry, some of them out there don't, you're still gonna have a subscription there because you still want access to all the listings that are in the MLS, and you want the ability to list your listings in the MLS if you want to, and your seller wants to. So again, guys, there are 3 entities, okay? There's 3 entities in real estate, okay? There's the DRE, there's CAR and NAR, and then there's the MLS. The DRE you have to have, unfortunately, okay? And you pay them every single year to sue the Career Compass because we're so great. So you got to have that. You got to have a license. Yeah, I know. Then you got the MLS, okay? That's where all the listings are. My problem is with CAR and NAR, that third option, that third entity that seems to think that they run real estate. Well, they don't, okay? They're a club, and they're supposed to represent us, and they're not doing it. So, any other quick questions? That was good. Anyway, Chuck, thank you. And by the way, folks, Chuck Simons has been to our seminar probably a dozen times as part of C4, and he's on today's call. I mean, there's no other company out there that has this kind of thing. I mean, it's amazing.
Chuck's been to more seminars than I have.
Yeah. He's probably been to more seminars than I have.
I hear you in my brain.
You do. No, no, Chuck. No,
I'm
Chuck,
so
no.
sorry, Chuck.
I hear you in mine.
Sorry.
No. He doesn't hear me in his brain. I hear him in mine.
All right, anybody. Any last questions? You can either, if you want to type them in the chat box, feel free, and we'll say them out loud. Or if you want to unmute yourself and you have a question, feel free to do that.
I don't have a question. All I'm going to say is love you all, guys. I mean, this is C4 is the best. Donna, Beef, you are the best. And
love that, Tony.
You know, and we'll talk soon. I have to go because, believe it or not, I have another webinar to go to.
Cool. Love you, buddy. You're awesome.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Anybody? Sandra, go ahead. You're muted.
You're muted, love.
Go ahead, Sandra.
So how would you broach the topic of, you know, with your broker, for instance? I'm trying to my company, and I don't want to get the boot, but on the other hand, because I love the people that I'm working with, but I love what you're saying, and I just couldn't be more on board.
Great. Okay. No, first off, no one's going to give you the boot. You're a great agent, and brokers do not get rid of great agents. That's for sure. Now, here's what you should say. And again, very respectfully, guys, we must do this we're the professionals. Okay. We're the professionals. So I'm going to go ahead and pretend, Sandra, that you're my broker. I'm going to say, hey, can I speak to you for a few minutes? It seems to me, and I know you know this, Mr. and Mrs. Broker, that NAR and CAR seems to not be doing what they are supposed to be doing for all the dues that we send them. Would you agree with that? Yeah, I sure would. Great. Or no, I wouldn't. Whatever this. So here's the thing. Yeah, I know that you have an agreement with CAR and NAR that all of us agents will be members, which is fine. But what I would like you to do, if you would do this for me, because I want you to represent the agents, because that's who you are. You're Mr. and Mrs. Broker. I would like you to put some pressure. Okay, go to the local board. I know you go to those board, you know, committee meetings, whatever it is, and I want you to seriously bring up the subject of rescinding the agreement between this brokerage and CAR and NAR and the board, unless these entities start to represent us. Would you feel comfortable doing that? Most brokers are like, you know what? If my agents feel unrepresented, it's my job to go to these board meetings at the board and say, hey, we feel slighted. We feel like CAR and NAR has turned their back on us. And us brokers as a group, okay, because all the brokers know all the other brokers, as a group are seriously considering changing the mandatory agreement that we have with you, that all of our agents will be members. Because as a group, we can go ahead and rescind that agreement and make membership optional. As soon as you say membership is optional, they are going to quake in their boots. So it's you and the broker are together as a team. You must go to your broker as a team on their team. Mr. and Mrs. Broker,
you're coming with us.
Yeah, I want to protect your business, because if Zillow takes over this industry, not only are you going to be put out of business, but so are the brokers. So they're on your side and you're on their side.
Beef, we had a question. If I or anyone paid our CAR NAR dues for the year, can we cancel them now, or do we have to wait until the end of the year to cancel?
No, and don't cancel them just yet, because we're gonna, because again, you're gonna want access to zip forms. Okay, so this is what we're talking about today, is a long-term plan. Okay, if you've already paid your dues, you're gonna have to pay your dues. However, if you do want to cancel your CAR NAR membership, you absolutely can. I don't think those entities are going to give you any money back. I'll just tell you that. Okay. So again, what we're talking about here is something that has to, CAR and NAR have been around for 107 years. They first got started in 1913, okay, around 100 years. So this is something that has evolved over time. We as agents need to be together in a new community, in a new cohesive community that has a voice, that goes to CAR and NAR and says, listen, we want things to change, because right now we're at the mercy of Zillow, who can violate all the rules and basically cheat us out of our listings. Can you imagine what would happen? Can you imagine if you went and solicited the listings of other agents and other brokers? Your license would be gone by the end of the day. By the end of the day, you would not be in this business. Yet Zillow does it with complete impunity. That's wrong. That is wrong, because we need to be represented. So again, this is a slow, long-term thing. So would I advise you to cancel your CAR and NAR membership right now? If you have some way to access forms that are good in the industry, okay, and there's lots of forms out there, then feel free. But my point is, you're still going to want to have access to those if you don't have that already. Do not cancel your MLS membership. But my point is, it would be my goal to not cancel CAR and NAR per se, but to fix them. Wouldn't you rather fix them than cancel them? I would. And what I think they're doing represents a move that they should be canceled. If they're just looking for nothing but hate speech every time we open our mouths, okay, and while ignoring Zillow, completely violating the code of ethics, they need to be canceled. But I would always want to light a candle than curse your darkness. And what that means is, if we can get Zillow, okay, to be held accountable to their actions in the same way that we're held accountable, then that's a fair playing field. Look, we don't want an advantage. As realtors, we don't want an advantage. We just want fairness. We want this to be a fair playing field, because I got news for you. if you are a realtor that knows what they're doing, and you know the tools and techniques of the Career Compass on a fair playing field, you'll win every time. Every time you'll win. And that's the goal. So we're not asking for a revolution here, even though if one is needed, that's fine. We're looking for simply fairness. And right now, CAR and NAR are not treating us fairly, and we need to be treated fairly. So any quick questions other than that?
Anything else, guys?
All right, guys.
And Chuck, you're
great
right.
session
First
today.
Tuesday does have the forms.
They do. But again, guys, don't run off at the brain here. We are actually working on that right now. And again, First Tuesday, a great company, good company, very nice people there. You know, we actually work with them sometimes. Sometimes they're our third-party affiliate company that we provide your seed with. They're a great company. My point is those forms are not yet integrated into a website DocuSign system. So we're going to need to do that first. So bear with us. Don't do anything crazy. But what I want you to do at this point is to get educated on what to do to protect your business. Let me ask you this. Okay, if your NAR and card membership is $1,200 a month or whatever, or $1,200 a year or whatever it is, okay, if you quadruple your income, does it really matter that much? Probably not. And so let's work on this first. Instead of spending all of our time and money dismantling the system, which don't worry, leave that to us, guys. Leave that to us. Let's work on you quadrupling your income. That's key, because if you're a millionaire, you don't really worry about, $900 dues here and there. Don't worry about that. So my point is, let's make you a millionaire. Let's do that first. Then we're armed to fight the fight. So number one, okay, learn how to be successful in this business. That's number one, okay? Because success is the best revenge. I promise, okay? So I promise, okay? So sign up for C4, be part of this program. So not only the 2 monthly coaching sessions, but the live events, as well as the special bonus training like the 7% we're going to be having in the beginning of June. It's going to be amazing, okay? And we'll do it as many times as you guys want. I don't care if I have to come on here and teach the 7% technique every day. I'll do it. I'll do it, okay? I'll do it, okay? So let's be successful, because when you're successful, it makes, okay, the person that said money can't buy happiness was poor, okay? That's a poor person. Don't be a poor person. Okay, be a rich person, because it doesn't eliminate your problems, but when you're rich, at least you can arrive at your problems in style. Okay, that's my point. So let's be successful. So, guys, step number one, okay, be successful. Step number two, okay, make Zillow accountable to their actions. Step number three, make CAR and NAR represent us. Step one, step two, step three. But none of that can happen if we are dying out of real estate because we're not closing any properties. So success is job number one. Okay, so I don't want you to even think about step 2 or 3. Step 1, be successful. How do you do that? Learn this stuff. Be on every single one of the C4 calls. Guys, for $19, look, guys, you guys subscribe and buy a lot of crap. Get rid of all the crap that's not producing results, okay? And get in C4. That's what I tell people. Say, oh, I got $1,000 in coaching, and I got this program over here. I got this CRM over here. I got this. Get rid of all that crap. You don't need that crap. Okay? C4. That's all you need, okay? Up here, invest in this right here, this gray matter. Okay, this gray matter that produces this gray hair that I have to dye. Okay, do that, please. All right, otherwise I look like I'm 100 years old. Look at Orlando; he thinks that's funny. Yeah, you don't need that, Orlando, because you got that jet black hair. Lucky guy. I'm gonna look like Chuck. Look at everybody. Look at Chuck. I look like him without just for men. All right. Are you guys signed up for C4 or not? If this doesn't convince you, nothing's going to. All right. Very good, folks. I will see you on the next call. I will see you next month for 7% technique. I'll see you tomorrow for Jim Zers. Jim Zers tomorrow for the senior training. Then I'll see you in June for the 7% technique, Tom Daves, and mentoring with masters. Okay, guys, we got such a huge agenda for you. It's going to be amazing. And by the way, there are 2 live seminars in June. Number 1, June 2nd and 3rd, and then half day on the 4th, in Reno, and then on June 25th, 26th, and half day 27th in Vegas. Go to Vegas. Orlando, you going? All right, dude. When you get there, find me. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, Orlando. When you get there, find me, and we'll go have a beer.
Okay, and I'll show you my 2333 number.
I know. I still have your card. dude, I still have your card on my desk
Do you
from
really?
7 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, that guy's got 2333. Awesome. All right.
All right.
I'll
It
see
is.
you guys at the seminar. I'll
All
see
right.
you on C4. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, right here with Jim Zersh tomorrow.
You
Good
done?
luck. Good selling. And I'll see you tomorrow. Sandra Fisher, thank you so much for being here. Wonderful guest speaker. Appreciate that. And we'll see you. We'll see you soon. See you tomorrow, right? That's right. You're gonna be on tomorrow. All right. Chuck, thank you. Orlando, thank you. Thank you. Everybody. See you soon. God bless. Good luck and good selling.
All right, guys. And like he said, there is still time to RSVP for both Reno and Las Vegas. Just go to our website, thecareercompass.com, and hit the seminar tab and get your RSVP in there. We are going to be cutting off Reno here pretty soon, so make sure you get your RSVPs into that this week. If you need any other assistance that we didn't cover or a question that you have that you need asked, just email us at support, SUPPORT, at thecareercompass.com. Again, support, SUPPORT, at thecareercompass.com. We want to thank you all for joining us. We hope that you find this as valuable as we do. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.